Good morning, Carol here, and welcome to my craft room. It has been a long time, hasn't it? And it is 1:30 in the morning, and I finally got up the strength, actually, to come and talk to all my subscribers, my friends, those that I count my closest friends. As you know, YouTube has always been a pleasure for me. It used to be my getaway. When things weren't going the way I planned or things happened in my life, where would I go? I go straight to the craft room and create. And that's where I met all of you and you became the dearest friends to me. So I'm going to try and explain why I left YouTube. And I'm going to try and do it in the most dignified way that I possibly can on a subject that is so sensitive that people don't even want to talk about it. They press it down into their subconscious being so that it stays in its own place all alone. And I did that for a long time, and I'm going to explain it to you and tell you what happened. Now, I will be doing more like a podcast on it later, just on the fact of what I had to deal with. But it's hard to do while I'm trying to. I haven't done a card in so long. I haven't created that I thought it would be. It's almost like a cure, you know. When I started to create, everything seemed to release out of my body because it's something that I long to do. It's my passion. And when I had to leave without any explanation, it tore me apart to leave each one of you. It really did. I tried to keep up with your comments, and we'll discuss that, okay? Hello there. See, you'll find this funny as I tell you what it was like to have to put this computer together all by myself and make it work. And you know me and computers, they don't go well together. Computer and Carol, they're polar opposites. So anyway, let's get started quickly. There's spaces I've left so that I can explain things to you. And right here, as I give myself a little break to think and to calm down, I'm going to explain. I'm doing a birthday card, a wilderness birthday card. You can make it for female or male. And I had all of these cardboard, push-out things, and I wanted to use one. And I think it's out of Stamperia set. And I'll explain everything because there's more places to explain this. If I was, okay, I have to start at the beginning. And I'll explain the way that I did this card as we go, okay? It is a four-sided card as usual, and I'm so excited to be back. I'm finding the words hard to come up with, so I'll do my best. Yeah, it's like a balloon birthday party. That came at a good time. How can you cry when balloons are flying in the air, right? But I missed everybody. I want you to know that, and I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be my healing process. I'm going to come back onto YouTube now that I've got it figured out, and somewhat. And I'm going to spend all my extra time with you. Is that a good thing? Some would say not. Oh my, I've been creating for quite a long time, and I've been on YouTube for I think over 10 years. And so I'm going to jump in right now with this before I tell you my story. This is dye from Heartfelt Creations, and they're the edge dyes that you want to use in the corners or to separate things. And I came up with this plan that I was looking at it and I thought, you know what? I can use the inside of this actual edging part that I had the gold embossing powder, and so I put some embossing powder on it and I embossed it in gold. How does that sound? I have so many things going on in my mind, it's very difficult. But I want you to know that if you have die sets, look in between your die sets, like if they're corner dies, are there flowers there? Are there any images that you can use to make your card, you know, a step up, so to speak, in gold or silver, whatever color that you want, actually. And I saw these little things inside there, so I cut the outside, and yeah, oh, don't flick them away. There he is. He always comes up when least expected. Now, I managed to go to the thrift store and get myself another one of these spinner things to put my machine on, my die cutting machine. And it works perfect because you don't have to keep hauling it out. You can turn it, put your die through, turn it, and then grab it out the other side and still stay seated in the exact spot you want. So that's lovely, isn't it? I keep it off to the side and I die cut anytime I feel like it. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to go back to the beginning, if that's possible. People got to know me very well. Oh, no. Oh, he goes over everything. I just love that little dog. I will leave what all of these dies are and sets if I can't remember them. But remember, here's something for us to remember. Remember when I did that, oh, I can't think of her name. You joined, she sent you 2 boxes of beautiful dies and papers and things. And watch how beautiful these come out. And these papers, these gold papers, were in that set. And just a minute, I'm going to get the name of that or I'll go crazy. The set is Anna Griffin. And we did that monthly lesson. She sent us 2 boxes of beautiful crafts. And we sent her the money to pay for it. But it was well worth it. Here they are here. Everything packed so wonderfully. And this is the leaf collection. There's 2 of them with different leaves. Okay, so let's carry on here. Many of you knew that I worked in the orthodontic field. I would get up in the morning quite early. I'd head off to work. And as soon as I got home and had dinner on the table, things cleaned up, I couldn't wait to run up to my craft room and create, because it was some place that I could lay my problems on the table. I could forget the trials that I was going through. And many of you didn't even know I was going through these trials because, you know, by the grace of God, I just was able to hide it. And it's a difficult time. And here I'm going to jump in. I know it's hard to tell my story, and also explain a card, but if you don't have a die that makes trees and whatever, just take a piece of paper and then take your brown ink and go down, you know, make strips like they're trees, some dark, some light, and then take a brown marker and go around the edges so you don't see the white of the paper. And this is going to be the front of the card where that beautiful deer is going to be standing. It will be 3-dimensional. You know I like to do 3-dimensional things. And I'm going to show you, here I can jump in. I was going through a very bad time of, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be open and honest with you, but I was going through a real bad case of abuse. And it started slowly. You know, I was married to he was my first date and I married him, and things just got It really got bad, and I didn't know what was going on in his mind, but the control and the, uh, nothing was right, nothing was, uh, it was terrible anyway, to say the least. And when I do my video just explaining the whole story on how it started, and right now I've had to move 3 times. I had 2 hours to leave my home. Before he got back, he had told me he was going to do away with me. I'll try to make the things as easy on the listening ear as possible. And, that, so he had weapons and he had them by the door, and I had, so many things going on. Yeah, but when I went in the craft room, I was able to forget those things. It became my hiding place, so to speak. And those of you that are going through this painful part of life, whether it be this, like violence, or whether it be loneliness, depression, because you will go through depression, and we all carry a heartache. I don't care. We all have a heartache. It depends on how easy it is to share, to not share that heartache with others, to be able to suppress that horrible feeling and carry on. To not even my best friend or relatives knew what I was going through, except for my family, like they knew. So anyway, so as time went by and I couldn't deal with it anymore. I couldn't, deal with the pressure of some of the things that were done to me. I knew I would have to leave. But I had to leave when he was not around. So he had a doctor's appointment out of town. I had 2 hours to get as much stuff into my vehicle and my sister's vehicle and get out of town before he came back, because that would have been a horrible, horrible thing to witness if I got caught in transition of doing this. But I want you to know that I went to my family and I asked them if I leave, they knew what was going on, some of it, and it would bring you shame to your family, I would stay. But I needed everybody to be in agreement because we are a family. And they all agreed I needed to leave. So that's what I did. I had 2 hours to get as many supplies in garbage bags as I could. And I would say I was able to get about a third of my products. And I had a lot of products, but I couldn't carry them. They were so heavy. So I took the big things like my computer, my lighting, my dyes, as many stamps as I could get in garbage bags. I had to leave so many things there, but my life was more important to me than materialism. So I just took what I could and off I went. And I went and stayed at my sister's. She has a B&B, and I stayed there. I had a room and about 10 garbage bags. It was so terribly upsetting and sad in so many ways. And I just didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I could not stay under those conditions. And so I took my green garbage bags up to my room. And you know something? When you go through hardships in life, and then you you just feel it's God's will that you get out. Once you get out, with however much you get out with, you have this peace that you can sleep. You're not worrying what you have to wake up to in the morning, what you're going to come home to. You know what I mean? And I'll explain a bit more as I go on and how I managed to escape without any, physical things happening. So here I'm going to stop because this is our trees, right? And we cut them in different, You know, we made fat trees, skinny trees, all different shapes of trees. We did the outside, all the white areas, and then take your scissors, your skizzers, and make some, you know, some rips in them. So it looks like the bark, and then go in there with your marker, and then we're going to put some tape. You're going to put like layered tape, or these Stampin' Up! Thingies, and that raise up the paper a little bit, and then you're going to put flat ones. You're going to kind of rotate it so that your trees have dimension, right? They're not all flat. And then what I did with the paper, because I don't have a lot of my craft tools are at the house, and he won't let me have them, and I'm fighting for that in court. So because you can't create with only, you know, a quarter or an eighth of your product. So I am in the process of doing that. So I didn't have that bouncy thing that I was able to press into to make, you know, dimension. So what I did was I took a giant stamp. You can go back, we passed it there. I took a gigantic stamp, and I turned it over so it had some bouncy. And then I took a, you know, that plastic tool. I'm so sorry. Like, going through something like this, I'm going to tell you, those that have gone through, you lose all perspective of putting your thoughts together. It totally breaks you down. And I needed this. And I wasn't able to craft in my sister's room because she didn't have anywhere to put my supplies or whatever. And then I also couldn't have him find me, which he did, and I had to put an order out to protect me from, you know, anything would happen. If he was following me, or I had to go to the store or whatever, I had to, you know, have a restraining order put on him. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. There it is. See that big stamp? I turned it upside down. I grabbed the nice bone folder. The words will come to me. This is the first card I've done, and it took me 4 months. Every time I came in, a problem happened. I didn't know how to get this on the screen. It's like I started over, truly. I didn't know how to do anything. I had to learn by watching videos, how to start a video, how to put the music in, how to basically start from scratch as a new creator and a new person learning the computer. I did not know. Things were, it was crazy. So anyway, I'm making some dimension by pressing the bone folder into the stamp so that the tree limb, the tree there, the bottom of the tree. I can laugh now. Trunk! Like my trunk, the bottom of your trunk. Yeah. So it curves. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you don't have one of those foam things, you know, I think they were from Stampin' Up! Actually. I can't remember whether I got them in a store, but I made things work, let me tell you. Every time I go to get something for this creation, and I'm telling you, it took me 3 months to put this card together. Everything would go wrong. I wouldn't know what to do, where to press, how to do it. I wouldn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to put the music in. I started just like a new beginner, and it drove me crazy. You know, sometimes I'd sit and just cry thinking, am I going crazy? I used to do this every day. Why can't, why can't I do it? I'm going to try to finish a thought, I promise. So I'm in the third, I had to, he found out where I was, so I had to move. And then I couldn't afford to be in there, so I had to move again, farther out where he couldn't find me. And I know this is going to sound terrible because, you know, I'm not a person to run my my husband down, I always tried to think on the positive while I was going through all of this horrible, horrible things. And so anyway, let's do this first. In the Stamperia set, they have these envelopes. They're pre-made. I cut them out because I wanted to put them on this four-sided card as an actual envelope. And I thought of putting a magnet on the one side so that it would stay on the card, but it was magnetized. You could lift it up, then you'd open it up and you'd have a beautiful message for someone you love inside. And then you can just, it snaps right on and you can close the card. I'm just sharpening my scissors up. I learned this in the wilderness when I was out hunting moose. Yeah. You know those shows, those survivor shows. Just take this leaf and rub it together and all of a sudden you're going to have a bouquet of flowers. Yeah, it's that sort of thing. But anyway, so so I'm cutting around this because I didn't want to use that cardboard one. That cardboard one didn't look as dimensional as I wanted it. So when you get a stamp set, you'll get a couple of deer, you'll get a couple of images of the actual cardboard image. So I thought, well, I can cut this out and then I can add the dimensions, and you can too. So you just watch and I'll carry on telling you how I am so far handling what I'm handling. And so I found another place, which I'm in now, and it had an extra room, which I set up for my craft room here where I'm sitting. And my sister goes on Facebook Marketplace, and through going, I had to leave. I had left with no money. I left with, few the supplies that I could take in garbage bags, and my most important, it would be my computer and my lighting, So I thought, okay, Carol, you start like you're just a new beginner. You have to get a mindset. One thing about going through hardships and trauma, and you do go through trauma, it doesn't have to be trauma between a married person, because I was only married to him all my, since I married at 20, but I went out with him at 15. So there's that stamp that I use to, again, I'm going to take it and I'm going to find something that, even the end of that pick, that paper stabber thing, I just pressed into the body where I wanted it to look dimensional, like he had a nice puffy belly, and and then I cut his head underneath his nose there so that it would stand up so it looked more three-dimensional. So we're going to use this, and look, you can make something out of nothing, can't you? Like I didn't need that piece of foam thing that I had bought. Just get a big enough stamp. They get two things out of one, right? So here I am. I've already made it dimensional by pressing it all in where I want it to be. And then you're going to take your stamps, the colors, and you're going to, round the body with the inks. And that deer will become your deer. And when I show you them side by side, you'll see how beautiful the thin paper cutout deer is to the actual cardboard deer. So anyway, this is going to be on the front of the card. I apologized for going back and forth. I had to learn how to put this timeline on, and I couldn't find where to put the music. I didn't know where anything was, honestly. But I knew I was going to do it. I was not going to give up because I care for each one of you. Like, leaving you like that, I would try to keep up with my comments, but I didn't know how much I could tell you on why I was gone. I didn't know how much I could share because I'm still in the court process, and I am divorced. I'll say that. I did get a divorce, but I did not get anything as far as half of everything and all of that stuff. I'm still fighting for that, but you have to have money to do that, right? And see my green uh, measuring thing that's on there. I got that for $2. My sister got it for me, and it was $2, but it's all bumpy every time I go. It's perfect for making dimensional things because it's wavy. It was very well used, and the person that used it, he used to do welding, so I had to clean it all and to take all the welding pits off of it, but I had to have one because my desk couldn't get dirty. And yeah, so there you go. So everything you see is what I was able to get out on that 2-hour day 3 years ago. So I thought foliage would be nice on this too. So just watch and you'll see. I also put gold embossing powder on the tree so that when you put it in the light, it would be like the sun shining on the bark, you know. At the end, it's beautiful. And another thing, you can't find anything like when you go to get, I couldn't find any glue, and I was trying to find glue, and then when I found it, you know, I just gave it a good hug and was so thankful that I had it. And everything that I threw in those bags, it was just like Christmas going in there and finding out what I could use and what I couldn't. But at the same time, it was heartbreaking because I have so many things I have to get in and get because they are mine, and it's not fair that everything should sit there. And this is what I want to do with my life now. I want to create. I want to build my my channel up. And yeah, so anyway, my ex now, obviously, when he would break the, when he would try to find me, and his terms, he had terms where he couldn't be near me and whatever, and he ended up doing some crazy things that I had to call him in because I feared, he told me he was going to de-life me, and so I had to have all the weapons taken out of the house. I had to call, and he broke his conditions and ended up in jail. I mean, it was crazy. Can you imagine? That's why I say when you look at people, don't think that they've got everything going for them because they look well put together. They don't. Everybody carries a burden, my friend, and that's why people always used to say, "Why do you smile all the time?" And it's because I heard one time that a smile is worth 1,000 words. So when I go out walking, and somebody, has got their head down, I always say, "Good morning, how are you? Beautiful day." That means something, because when I was going through it, if I had heard that, it would have really cheered me up, truly. So anyway, like I said, I'm here in this place, and obviously I can't say where I am, but anyway, here I sit. I don't have a chair that's high enough. I'm using my stool chairs that my son bought me in the kitchen here. So I just take one and I put a blanket on it, and yeah, and it's serving a purpose. Everything serves a purpose, doesn't it? So here I'm taking out my LDRS creative little ink boxes, and I'm making that waterfall card. Now, I did not have time to put up all of the all of the dimensions of the card, like whatever. But if you look up waterfall cards, you'll find one in the size that you want. The ones that I use, I cut out like 4 2 3/4 inch cards, like harder cards, did the edges, and then I cut out 2-inch cards to go on top so that they're nicely You know, these aren't the ones I used either. I don't know what I was thinking because there's no orange in the card. It's pink. But I'm going to show you how to remedy that too as I talk to you. So, and then you're going to need a long piece of paper. Just, I can't really spend the time on all of it, and you'll see me doing it. But if you look up a waterfall card, you'll get all the dimensions. I looked up somebody by the name, she's stamping up Dawn's Stamping Room or something like that, and I got her dimensions, and that's what I did because I thought it'd be so nice to have a wilderness type card, like a paper. I had a piece of paper with all of just, you know, it was stray paper that I brought along with me, and you'll see the change, but I'll be able to use these at a different time. So anyway, let's get back. So I decided, well, to get this place I had to sell my vehicle, and so I walk wherever I have to go because I had to pay, you know, first and last, and I wanted to pay 2 extra months. So I thought, you know, when you go through those hard times, material things don't mean anything. Anything. I could have had any material thing I wanted, but you don't have peace of mind. And I'd rather have peace of mind than have everything the world has to offer, truly. And people say that, but if you go through it and say it, you know you mean it. And I truly mean it. So I sold my vehicle, and it got me, you know, I was able to pay my rent, and yeah. And so gradually I just went to thrift stores with my sister. She got me a nice little couch, and a friend of my son's gave me a little TV. And, you know, there isn't anything really that God can't do for you when you're going through a trial if you depend on Him. And it was rough times, but you know, the first night I got out is the best night's sleep I ever had, because I wasn't afraid to wake up in the morning on what I was going to wake up to. Now here's the color of the bow in the deer. See the deer's head there? And these are birthday balloons, big smiles. I wanted to incorporate smiles because even though this has been one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my entire life, I mean, escaping that, I would take on 25 giving birth in the same day. It's not as painful, let me tell you. And I know that sometimes I laugh because it's a mechanism to not cry. But here I'm finding, I already had these cut out in a bag, and now I'm showing you how I made the card from the piece of paper that was there. And then I took some cutouts that I had in a plastic bag, and I'm trying to think what I want to do with them, you know, kind of experiment. And I hope everybody's fine. What I did is I was watching videos on how to start my YouTube channel up again, and where to find this and how to find that, because YouTube has changed. And I've been gone from YouTube for 3 years, and I couldn't say anything because I didn't want anybody to find out where I was. It put me in a bad situation, so I had to just walk away. And then as I saw your comments come up, I quickly answered you, you know, to tell you, oh, look at that. I wasn't leaving without those, remember how much trouble I had finding all of these magnets? It's sticking everything together. Yeah. And so I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to magnet this piece. So I put one there that's going to go in between the papers, and one underneath that's bigger. Yeah, and that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to put the magnets away. Look how they're sticking there. And I was so grateful to have these because I wanted to do so many other things, but I couldn't. So you make a little dab. You put your magnet right side up, like figure that out first. There, see how it's sticking? You go like that. Make sure your pattern is right. And then that's what you're going to do. So let's start doing it. I put some glue there. I put this on there, just to show on the envelope it was in the right position. And then I'm going to put that magnet underneath the paper. I kept the paper free. And I put a piece of tape over it. And then I'm going to tape this up and tape it down onto the paper that's going to house that beautiful envelope. So let's take that off and add some double-sided tape, and we're going to set it over top. Make sure that the pattern is right. Put some glue on there, and let's house it right down there. Isn't that beautiful paper? I had this, see, I don't have, you know that big stand I had to leave all that paper. So I could only use the paper that I do have from in the future till I get my things out of there. So I'm working on it, you know. But you have to have money, right? Lawyers aren't free. I found that out. So now I'm going to take a sheet. I'm going to lift this sheet up here because I'm trying to think of what the reasoning was why I had to rip that up. Oh, just to put different tape on all of it. And then I'm going to put that back on, and you're not going to see the magnet, but yet those two magnets will magnet together because we checked that out at the beginning, right? There you go. It's not going to fall off. Whew, one thing done. So anyway, I struggled with, I want to, pride. That's another thing to my followers. Pride is a very, very bad thing to have. We all have it. We all struggle with it. You want people to think that, you know, everything goes well with you and everything is, you know, you don't want to share your problems with people, right? But when I left and I had to sell my vehicle just to get housing, and I had to find a place that I had shopping where I could walk, and then my sister got me one of those buggies that I can carry, so I had to go to the food bank because I didn't have, at the end of the month, I didn't have any money to get groceries. And so isn't that beautiful card? Look at that. And so you put it together. Just make sure you don't tape anything so you can't get that card in there. Then you put that strip over so you can tuck your, your envelope topping in there, the pointy one. So I had to, pride just went to the side of the road, and I went to where the food bank was, and I go there once a week with my cart, and I just am so grateful for them, that you're able to go once a week, and obviously they have a way about doing it, and I put it in my cart and I head home. And that has what sustained me until I can get my court things settled. And as anybody knows, there's no free lawyers, and there's always a cost. But I learned one thing, that materialism does not. There's my waterfall card I made. Isn't that pretty? It matches the actual wilderness theme on there, and this is the index, like the end of it, like the flip. Sorry if I've lost all reasonings of what things are called. This is the bone something or other that holds the two pages together. So I made that, and so here's that little strip I made as well. One thing I really missed was my punches, I had so many of them, remember? But I am going to get them one day. I don't know when, but I'm going to. That's what I'm struggling to do now. And so anyway, I was watching videos, and they had on there, buy me a coffee, if people wanted to help a fellow crafter be able to get the things they don't have, that they need, not things they want, the things that they need to create. And so I put that took me about a month and a half to figure that out. And I think I have it on my home page. When you open up my home page and you go down to where you put your links and things right under the video, it's in blue. And you just press it and it should go right to my Buy Me a Coffee page. And you can press 1, 2, or 3. And if you wanted to send me, I think it starts at $2 and goes up to infinity. You can send whatever, and then it takes you up to if you press it, it takes you to another page thanking you, and you get to write me, and so I can keep in touch with you and thank you. And then it allows you to put in any amounts of money. It's infinity. If you felt the need to send me $1 million, well, you can do it. That'd blow my mind. I thought $2 is great. Yeah, so, I'd like to get a proper chair. This is really hard on my back, but I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I just want to, I need to get paper and proper glue and the things that you need when you create. And yeah, so I'm working on that. But I will make my videos with what I have. You don't have to worry. Whatever I have and I brought with me, that's what we're going to use until I'm able to see how that green, I don't know what you call it, but it's got all kinds of pumps in it. But it looks good, doesn't it? Yeah. There was so much soldering on it. It was crazy. I had to get off. But it works, and I'm happy. It doesn't get garbage all over my table. And yeah, my son and daughter-in-law got me that on that place where you go and get stuff cheaper. I can't remember. It's online. So I decided there's the card that I'm going to put together. I kept it in the same color patterns. And then I used up paper that I had just parts of. So I'm going to put that together and show you what we're going to do as I talk. So anyway, I had, my lawyer had served my ex saying that he needs to let me in to get half of my belongings. And he ran him off the property. And yeah, so I had to pay for 6 of those people to go and serve him that. And he wouldn't take them. And then the last time they went, he said if he didn't get off the property, he would be sorry. And then he went to the lawyers and signed an affidavit saying that, he had threatened him. So if anything, were to happen to me, at least that would be there, that they could show that, that. So I'll leave it at that. I'm sure, most of us are my age or older, and we all understand the things that go on when you're dealing with domestic things. So anyway, but I did manage to get my divorce papers, and now here it is. Isn't this? It shows you the papers I used. Just the measurements, I don't. I think that one card is 4 by 5.25, if I'm right. And then I think that piece that goes across is, I had it all written down. But anyway, I think it's easier if you just go over to, waterfall card and get the size of card that you would want. Because we all make cards different sizes. And this one may not fit the one I have, which is 6 by 8, the card base. So I love the fact on how it works, how you push it and it all comes down. It all has the same theme of like outdoor theme, with flowers and nature and stuff like that. And you can pull down on it. And then you put inside what sentiment you want to put from your stamps. All kinds of things. I think I left it bare because, I'm just going over the edges to make them, nice and You know how I always go over the edges. I don't like anything with a clean cut. So there we go. And then that pink matches the pink in the flowers the best I could do. And we'll put that up. And then I was thinking nature, and I had this bag full of cardboard images, and I found some squirrels and things of, that they reside in the outdoors, in trees. That's what I wanted to get, and we'll work on that in a minute. And I'm trying to not use a lot of glue. I don't. I really watch everything I have now. And so there you have it. So you have the one outside piece, you have the middle piece going across to slide that longer piece in, and it'll all make sense. You just find somebody that knows what they're doing on YouTube, and they'll help you do it. How's that? So anyway, I just, every time I walked into the craft room, I know this sounds crazy, I went into a deep depression. I couldn't do it. I couldn't breathe. I didn't think I'd be able to talk to you or share things with you without just totally breaking down. And that's why it took me so long. Like, how am I going to do it? And I would walk in and I would get literally sick to my stomach. I wanted to craft. I wanted to create, but I didn't know. It took me so long to figure out where all of these chords went, to what things the chords went to. And I would watch so many videos on how to do this and how to do that, and where to plug this and where to plug that. And then, my camcorder, I didn't know. It was just like I had just bought it. I truly have to tell you, isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. And you've got the envelope for your message. And you have this beautiful, beautiful waterfall card. And with a deer in there, and you have a waterfall card. It all made sense to me. And here's that those squirrels. I think I used one that had two squirrels though, actually, and I put it on the bottom. I taped it to the bottom so that you pulled it down. That was your pull tab for that. And we'll see how it works as we go on. And next video, I'm working on where we can communicate with one another. That one part of the screen will have you talking to me, and I'll be in a little circle talking to you on there while we create something. And then if you have any questions for me that I can answer, I will certainly answer them for you. So here I'm putting the, and I did it crooked, but you're not going to know, because everything is just so, it's not all lined up, so I didn't mind that. So there we go. You've got that, and as you're watching that, I want to thank anybody that watches that watches my tutorials. I answer every one of your comments. I've gotten to know you, and I've missed you. I've truly missed you. And if you feel the need to buy me a coffee to help me get back on my feet here, that would be wonderful. And I would appreciate it, and I would get back to you. And I'd like to, those that do support me, I would like to make some cards and send them to you. And we can really have some fun times with, with doing that, because, it takes a lot to come on and share private things. It takes a lot of courage for people to go on and share their most private hardships. I don't like saying that's a horrible thing. Sorry, but I lost a lot. I wasn't a proud person anyway. Like, I knew the first trip to the food bank would be hard on me, because I've never done that. And, there's that, I'm so sorry. I got to straighten that up. The first time going in is the hardest, but then you get to know the ladies in there, and the, the receptionist and the people that help you, and it's just become like a little family. And so I'm very thankful for that. And the only thing is, you only get like canned goods and stuff, which is great. I'm not complaining, but you don't get your butter or your paper towels or your this, that, and the other. But you do get food, and it helped me at a time. It's still, I don't know what I'd do without it. So anyway, I hope this kind of helps you um, understand where I've been. And I will have, if somebody wants to talk to me, you just leave me your email in with your comment, and I'll get a hold of you, and we can chat. I don't mind that. And yeah, and I don't feel obligated to have to buy me a coffee either. It was just ways or a means to get some help. And if somebody did want to help, I had a few people message me not too long ago, and they said, "Is there any way we can help you?" And then that made me think of buying me a coffee, because with them you only have to pay them 5%, right, to have it there. But with Patreon, people pay by the month, and they get, I think, I don't know, 25%, 20, I don't know what it was, but that was a lot. And this way, with Patreon, you have to wait a month to get your funds, and with Buy Me a Coffee, it goes right into your bank account. And that was funny trying to get all that situated too. Here I'm trying to hide that crooked inside thing there, but I just thought, no, I'm not going to hide it. I kind of like it. It grew on me in time. So there you have it. You have the little squirrelies. You have the, let me see here. I was just showing you the guts, the pieces, parts inside that heartfelt creation that I used. Now I'm going to show you what I did with them. Well, I just noticed that we've come to the end of this creation. If you have any questions for me, please leave me a message. If you find that link on my homepage, it's in blue where it says Buy Me a Coffee, and you'd like to help contribute to my supplies and things, it would be just a real blessing for me. And thank you. Thank you for always being here for me. And you have yourself a blessed week.